This is the Grafton Cyclecar. I haven't used it much while the weather has been so bad, but a few weeks ago, with spring approaching, I thought it was time to blow off the cobwebs. So I quickly blew some air into the tyres, and I thought I would try and get some cool shots of me driving it in the yard. And then this is where the wheels came off. Not literally. I was just getting warmed up when I started to lose drive. I figured something was wrong, so I stopped it pretty quickly. Yeah, so there are worse places to break down, to be fair. So I'm pretty sure that it's that the rear drive, this shaft underneath in here, which is the culprit, and that's fine. It's fine. What we'll do, we'll take it into the shed, and we'll see what has to happen for that to work again. I think that's the best idea. It's this. There's a piece of brass shim sticking out there. This cog is turning when it shouldn't be. I think it might be as simple as tightening something up here, but we're going to get it into the shed, and we'll see what has to happen here. Ooh. This is a good excuse to use my new winch. If you want to watch a video about me fitting that into my van, then the link will be in the description. I haven't given myself the most room there, but so I'm pretty sure that's the problem right there. I need to get that out, get that there. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have today, so I'm going to have to come back tomorrow. Fortunately, I've got a day off tomorrow, so fingers crossed we'll get it sorted out. It's the next day. I'm back. We've got the Grafton jacked up, and I've got my mattress here, pillow, lovely. I'll show you now what I believe the problem is. Basically, this sprocket needs to be tightly gripped onto this counter shaft, and that provides drive to the back wheels from the gearbox. But for some reason it's come loose, and for now I'm just going to try and tighten it up in place. Yeah. Well, that is moving. So we've got that all done up. We're gonna give it a tiny test, and we'll see if just taking that out and tightening that up has done anything. It might need a thicker shim. Plenty of fuel. Oil off to begin with. Just give it a bit of a prime up. Okay. Plenty of fuel. Oh, nearly. Now we've got a fuel leak. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of a play with the carburettor. The carburettor's off. I'm going to empty it out and we'll blow it out with the air gun, take it to bits and clean it a bit. Here's a carburettor. I've just taken the top off where the fuel comes in, and this carburettor, I do take it off fairly regularly because it's very susceptible to debris, any sort of stuff in the fuel, and because obviously the tank is really small on the Grafton, I'm constantly putting fuel in it, taking fuel out, you know, so there's no filter either, and the fuel is not necessarily as clean as it could be. So I was thinking about fitting a little fuel filter, like a little lawnmower one, but obviously that looks pretty terrible. You've got this lovely engine and everything is sort of old and period, so it's really nice, and then you've got a plastic lawnmower filter there. It looks terrible. So yeah, we need to think about that. I think we will have to look at fuel filtration because yeah, it's happening too often where this gets stuck. Before, I don't know if you can see that, but now I don't know if you can see, the float bowl, the float is actually closing up the fuel thing before. The problem is a little bit of debris or something gets stuck in there, it doesn't close properly, and it just floods this up with fuel, and we end up with a big puddle out there like we had before, which is not very good for neighbourliness. So yeah, anyway. I don't really like to leave fuel inside fuel tanks. I know that some people do, some people don't, but yeah, I know that it can go off, go bad. So in general, when I'm not using something for a while, I do drain it down. I don't know if anyone else does that. It would be interesting to hear. Anyway, I stripped the carburettor, which is really straightforward, and I found a small piece of green plastic from my petrol can in the float bowl. That was causing the fuel to flood the carburettor. So I got it all blown out and cleaned, and hopefully it'll be all right. I'm draining the fuel tank, and I'm going to filter the fuel that goes back in there. I've got a little temporary fuel tank that I can fill it from with a filter in line. So at least then we'll know it's clean, and I'll blow out the fuel tank as well. And the line, so we'll make sure that we haven't got dust in there, and then we can see whether or not the axle is going to work. So on my little fuel tank there, I've got an inline filter on the end and a tap. So it's quite handy, and hopefully it should stop any debris from getting into the petrol tank. Here I'm giving it a bit of a test. I'm lifting the car up onto some stands and I'm going to put it in gear, and you know, if the chain drives the back axle then I know it's sort of working, but the test will be, can it take me? Alright, that's in first gear. Well, look, let's see. It works, so it works without me in it. I imagine when I get in it, it'll be a bit different. So. No, I don't think that's going to move me. No, I think that might be it for this film. Like I say, it's deeply unsatisfying, quite annoying really. We know what the problem is. It's just a question of getting that gear, that cog, to stay on that shaft properly. And I don't want to bodge it, so we're going to have to take our time over it, and I'll come back to you. Over and out. And on that downbeat note, sadly, we have to end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.